What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at my competitive PvP solar hunter build. Now this video has been requested for quite some time, so I'm happy to bring it to you guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So before we get into the overall loadout, let's first look at my gunslinger subclass. So I prefer gambler's dodge. You go further and you get your melee back, so it helps getting my weighted throwing knife up. Obviously strafe jump, that way you can do those peek shots, you can bounce off ceilings, stuff like that. Now this is the major change between what I used to run. I'm running weighted throwing knife instead of proximity knife. Now I can't really do the wombo combos with the trip mine like I used to, but in my personal opinion as a content creator, having weighted throwing knives as one hit kills and you get them back every time, the potential for clips is just too good for me. I do know a lot of people prefer lightweight knives, but if I'm being completely honest, weighted throwing knife is just such a nice opener, especially in trials. You know somebody's on a lane, they're not budging at all, you just slide in, throw the knife, you're not even there long enough to die, and you get the pick. So yeah, I prefer weighted throwing knife as of right now, and I will always stand by my trip mine grenades. Trip mines do 141 if they're standing right in it, and I just think it's way too valuable to be able to throw it in, tag up all of them, you get them burning, and I think it's a really unique grenade because you can get some really nice spots on like walls, ceilings, floors. If you played with it as long as me, I feel like I know pretty much where I'm going to throw it every time, and I feel like it's definitely one of the most underutilized nades right now. Getting into the aspects, we have on your mark and knock them down. Now these aren't too crazy, but essentially what this does is when you get final blows, you get increased handling and reload speed. So this is really good when I do need to reload and I'm not using a gun with slide shot. And it's also great for handling on weapons like my shotguns. So even though I have threat detector opening shot, having 55 handling with threat detector, it can still get a little bit faster when you have on your mark. Now on your mark also gives you max stacks when you activate your class ability, so anytime I dodge I pretty much have higher handling. Now the other aspect is knock them down. Now this is super good when using golden gun. So what this does is when you get a headshot kill, every time you get a headshot kill, golden gun lasts longer, and you also get a little bit of damage resistance. Now also this is what gives you your throwing knife back when you get a kill with it, and this can enable some really fun clips. Now going on to the super, I prefer 3-shot golden gun. I know some people like blade barrage, but me personally, I think if you can play marksman golden gun correctly, it has a lot more utilization, you can counter a lot of supers. So yeah, I use 3-shot. Going on to the fragments, I do use ember of beams because I feel like I literally don't have to be anywhere near the target with golden gun. I know it already has a lot of target acquisition, but it's just nice to have that reliability of feeling like their hitbox is 3 times as big. Now I use Ember of Char, so what this does is whenever I hit somebody with my trip mine, they burn, it prevents them from regenning so I could push up. Next up I use Ember of Torches. Now this is a very important fragment. Pretty much anytime you hit somebody with your throwing knife, you're going to get radiant. And then sometimes you could 2-head one body with the 140, get increased range with a shotgun. Radiant's just a great perk to have up. Next up we use Ember of Solace, so pretty much radiant just lasts longer. And the final one is Ember of Searing, so defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire spite. This isn't super important, I'd just use it for the recovery, but still helpful in some situations. But yeah, that was my solar hunter subclass. So besides that, we're still sticking with the good old rows. We do have a criminals with PI, criminals with Adagio, we have chaperone in case I want to pull out igneous hammer. Now for shotguns, I'm using Prophet of Doom right now, but we do have the God Roll Inquisitor and a okay roll Matador. We don't really snipe now that we're on keyboard, but we do have Beloved here just in case. And most of the time in high competitive lobbies, if I'm going for a shotgun, I'm using Inquisitor. In terms of heavy weapon, I pretty much haven't switched off of Hammerhead since it came out, but before that I would use Half Truce with Eager Edge. In terms of mods, on my helmet I have 1 kinetic targeting and 1 in-flight compensator. Now, in-flight compensator isn't necessary when playing Hunter, but at least in my opinion, I think having that ability to have some kind of accuracy to clean up if someone's 1 HP while you're jumping just makes me confident to get those cleanup kills in 1v1s in situations like that. Now on your gauntlets, I do use kinetic dexterity and arc dexterity. So what this does is my kinetic weapon has higher handling or higher stow speed, and my shotgun has higher stow speed. Now because all 3 of these shotguns are arc, it's pretty much applicable to all 3. Now this is a controversial topic, but I do use a energy slot on fastball. I've just gotten used to fastball. I feel like I can hit my nades every single time when I'm using it, and especially using trip mine, it's not like if you mess up you could still have a viable grenade. You really need to be placing these precisely, and fastball helps me hit them pretty deep. For chestplate I use double and flinching primary. I feel like it's the most important. You need to have a solid primary shot to compete in high level lobbies. And yeah, for stompies we use arc holster, recuperation, and better already. So what this does is essentially just gives me health whenever I pick up an orb, and then arc holster makes it so that my shotgun will actually reload itself whenever I pick up ammo. It's super helpful and has saved me more times than I can count, so definitely recommend. On the class item we have bomber, outreach, distribution, all that boring stuff. Yeah, if you look at my stat distribution, I have 90 mobility, 100 recovery, and 95 intellect. Now, I don't really care too much to play more PvE to get better rolls, but it's pretty beneficial for having high mobility, high recovery, and intellect, because I feel like everything else regens at a pretty normal rate, and resilience I don't believe is that important right now, considering most 120s have PI, and it's pretty situational when somebody has radiant to 2 head 1 body or stuff like that. So I really don't think it's too big of a deal, and yeah. I also don't think having 10 intellect is that big of a deal, considering that you can see the difference right now. It's 6 seconds, so I'm really happy with my builds. And so yeah, before we get into the gameplay, make sure to like, subscribe, join my Discord, and come see me live at twitch.tv/Migia. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh!
5 minutes remain. A strong start. Fight on.
Hey!
I need a hunter like you with the red jacks.
Oh.
Zone B, Captain. Zone advantage is yours.
Blew it.
That shut them down.
Nice shot.
Oh no!
You have to ask for a better victory.
I just quick scoped the gold, let's go.
You captured Zone C.
That's it.
Double down. Fire team that fights together stays together. Enemy claims Zone B.
Holy fuck.
Double down. Zone advantage is
I'm rinsing these kids. Oh no!
Zone C lost.
Dude, this sparrow shit is so funny.
I've just been riding around on mine all the time. I just destroyed it though, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's chill. Get your cooldown. Pop another.
You have zone advantage.
Oh, they're behind. Oh my god, dude, this is not real.
Zone B lost.
What is going on?
Unmatched, Hunter.
No, no!